I would bring forth a child minimum wage where the state would match that money.
There's a lot of conservative people who are pro-business and are actually against raising the minimum wage because when they look at it,
Raised to 18.
which is fine, but there's a lot of people who pay mind either big box business or brick and mortar or more smaller business, and they look at the prospects of jacking up the minimum wage, and it's a war between either corporate interests or business owners where they say, we won't make it.
I got a
We
solution.
won't make it.
I got a solution.
Okay.
So a child minimum wage of $12.16, and then the state matches that money for the child in a 216K or a 401K, but a 216K would essentially be like an extra FAFSA. So we would have home economics, the economics of owning a home, running a portfolio, becoming an investor, and living a blessed life.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a working title, but essentially at 13, that kid could trade stocks. And so you're making $12.16 an hour. The state pays you up to the 18, but they put that money in an account. And so at 13, you'll literally have home economics class, and it's trading stocks and, buying bonds and creating a 401k and becoming an investor. Because I don't know, outside of a robot, you're not going to outwork a robot. So you need to teach a kid how to invest in school.
We need to prepare our kids for what AI may or may not do to the workforce. We don't know. It is emerging right now, and it doesn't look very good. So in terms of the employment numbers in this country, AI doesn't look like it's going to bring a windfall, does it?
Well, it's going to hurt employment.
Yes.
So
I think yes. I think that's a fair statement no matter what.
I would institute a child tax. Now, this would not go for pre-existing conditions, but essentially to get our teachers raises, $100 a year for a boy, or I'm sorry, a girl, and $300 for a boy. The boys their mental health issues through the roof. When's the last time a girl was a school shooter? There's football, pads, all this other crap. Boys are actually more expensive to educate. You don't have to build a fucking football stadium for a fucking girl, You could literally run an all-girls school for cheaper than you could run a joint school because they just require a gymnasium. They don't require a football stadium. They don't require pads. They don't require insurance outside of some girl getting hurt during gymnastics. They don't get hurt during athletics. And when you have an all-girls school, you don't have rapiness and all this other nonsense. And that would be a great way to close the wage gap. I would offer state all-girls schools, all-boys schools, especially at the juvenile level.
Charter, in the vein of charter schools, or how would you offer either subsidies or encourage the development and funding of schools that are either all-boys schools or all-girls schools?
So if it's a failing school, it's
well,
now...
No, that's fine, but I'm talking about what state or government agencies and what funding from those agencies or entities would you leverage in order to get something like that done or off the ground?
So the Department of Education already gets money for the high school.
Okay.
If it's a failing school, you take two schools that are failing, that are within the same district, or the two worst schools, and turn one of them into a boys' school and one of them into a girls' school.